July 8th, 1741. I'm standing in front of 300 sweaty, terrified Puritans in Enfield, Connecticut. I'm about to deliver the most fiery Great Awakening sermon in American history, and by the end of it, half of these people will have a new outlook in religion, and the other half will wish they'd stayed home. My name is Jonathan Edwards, and this is the AP US History My Story podcast. New England was filled with entitled Puritans. Ooh, my great-grandfather sailed over on the Mayflower. These people were treating faith like some kind of inherited membership club, showing up to church, nodding along to boring sermons, then going home to count their money and judge their neighbors. It was spiritual complacency, and it was making me sick. So when I got invited to preach at Enfield, I decided to bring out the big guns. No more polite theological discussions about predestination. No gentle reminders about Christian duty. I was going full shock and awe in these people, because sometimes you have to scare the hell out of people before they'll listen to you about heaven. Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God. That was my title, and yeah, it was intentionally terrifying. I'm talking about God holding sinners over the pit of hell. I'm describing how their wickedness and how only God's mercy keeps them from dropping into eternal flames right now, this very second. People started crying, then screaming. Women were fainting, men were sobbing. I had to pause multiple times because the crowd was so loud with people begging God for mercy. They left that church completely changed, and the revival spread through the Connecticut River Valley like wildfire. This was the beginning of the Great Awakening, and it wasn't just about getting people more religious. It was about a massive cultural revolution that changed how Americans perceived authority, individualism, and their relationship with institutions. And it set up a lot of the ideas that would lead to the American Revolution. See, before the Great Awakening, most colonists just accepted whatever their ministers, their government, and their social betters told them. Trust the experts and don't ask questions. But the Great Awakening flipped that whole system upside down. We were telling people that they could have a direct personal relationship with God that didn't require going through the church. This was revolutionary stuff. Once people start thinking for themselves about religion, then they start thinking for themselves about everything else, including the government. And here's something really wild. The Great Awakening was the first truly continental American experience. Before this, a guy in Massachusetts didn't have much in common with someone in South Carolina or Pennsylvania. But suddenly, everyone from Georgia to Maine was reading the same pamphlets and seeing the same traveling preachers. No cap, my tour was as big as Taylor Swift is today, except without the video screens and merch, of course. This began an American identity for the first time. People started thinking of themselves as Americans who shared common experiences rather than just British colonists who happened to live in different regions. Standing that Enfield meeting house, watching people have life-changing spiritual experiences, I didn't realize I was helping to create the cultural foundations for American independence. Sometimes the most important changes happen when you're not trying to be revolutionary, you're just trying to wake people up to reality. Like, follow, and share the AP US History My Story podcast, because these stories hit different when you hear the original voices that shaped our country.